What's up guys, welcome back to the video. So today we're going to be learning about tables in ReactJS. So let's get started. So tables in ReactJS kind of belong in the form because that's how your web page kind of designs and stuff. So yeah, I can kind of say it belongs to form because if you can have drop downs in it and stuff. So yeah. So let's go ahead and create a basic table. But before that, I'm going to be showing you guys my two files which I'm going to be using. So one is this file, my table, and app. So if you've seen my app, I already am importing my table and I'm using it over here. So, and by the way, we're going to be using a functional component. So let's get started. So I'm just going to be modifying two examples. I mean, the first example to the second one. So the first one is basically going to be having hard-coded values, basically the values which I already just put it directly. And the other thing is basically I'll just use JSON so that I can just get the data and map them and stuff. So let's get started. So the first thing is we need a functional component. And I'm going to name it my table since I am importing as my table over here. So let's go ahead and do that. And I am going to be having something like this. So now what we're going to be doing is, first of all, you need a table property over here. And the next thing you need is a t head. So using this t head, you can just define the head of the table. So let's get started. So there's going to be a table row and td, table data. And the first thing is going to be name. So let me go ahead and copy this and put it 3 times. So the second thing is going to be their ID. I'm just gonna define a specific ID, I guess. And the next thing is of course going to be probably their number, or I'll just say number. And there we go. So that should be it. So next thing what we can do is you can have a t body over here. So this is the table body inside this. So now what we're going to be doing is, first of all, we're going to be having a tr, of course. So the first person probably is going to be Mike, and the ID is going to be the, let's say the ID to be 102.457 and these random numbers. And actually it's too big. I'll say let me just delete some. And that should be it. So the next thing what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be having a number. So you can just define any number. I'm just going to say 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 0. So that's the number which I'm going to be defining. So yeah, let's go ahead and copy this and paste it 2 to 3 times, I guess, or maybe 2 times is enough. So this is going to be John. His ID is going to be +1 maybe, and his number is of course going to change. And that should be it, I guess. So let's go ahead and see something. Actually, let me delete an extra number over there. So yeah, that should be good. So let's go ahead and see our output, but before that I forgot to export. So let's go ahead and export the default export, and I'm going to be exporting my table. Actually, let me spell this right. So let's go ahead and see our output. So let's go ahead and reload this. Okay, so it's not working. Let's see what we did wrong. Oh, we forgot to add a return over here. So let's go ahead and add a return. And that should do it, I guess. So maybe we forgot the return and that's why it was not working. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and reload that, and yeah, that works. So this is our name, Mike, John, and ID, their ID, and their number. So this is a basic table, but it doesn't even look that great because like we don't have any lines or stuff. We don't have any of those. So let's go ahead and add CSS to this. So first of all, what we want to do is we want to find this file which I already created. This is not going to be there for you guys. You just have to create this. So this is an external style sheet which I am going to be importing in my table. So that's why first for that we have to have a class name. By the way, I forgot. Class name, and we can have something if you want, but it's not a good way to just have table directly, because if you have normal directly the table kind of thing, it's not gonna work that great, because if you have many tables it's just gonna modify for all those. So yeah, so I'm just gonna provide a class named my table, and I'm gonna copy this and apply for this everything and stuff. So first of all, I want to have width to be 100%. And next thing I want to have is a border collapse. The reason why we are having a border collapse is because the border is not going to collapse. It's just going to have a bit of a space and stuff, so we don't want that to happen. And the next thing, or the final thing, basically is to just have a TD, and you can do that. And then what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be having something like this. So border 1 pixel solid black. So now let's go ahead and import this over here. So let's go ahead and do import and we are gonna import the table CSS. So let's go ahead and do table, where's the table, and css.css. So let's go ahead and see our output. So let's go and reload that. And there we go, that looks kind of better, I'll say. And I also want to mention the reason why I use directly TD is because I want to just apply for all those TD ones. But if you don't want, you don't have to, and you can of course remove that. So you can do that, of course. So you can also just this thing in the middle. So what you can do is you can just do T head, and you can just do what is that? I guess it's text align. Yeah, it's text align, and in the center. And there we go. So let's go ahead and that works. So you can also adjust these text if you want, but I'll just keep it like this. So let's go ahead and remove actually border collapse to see what's gonna happen. So that's why I actually added the border collapse, because we didn't practice that much on my HTML videos either. So that's why I just want to mention this. So that's why I'll just keep the border collapse, and that's gonna look better. So now let's go ahead and see the one last final example using the JSON as I said. So let's go ahead and do that. So for this, I guess I already created a file, or maybe not. So let's go ahead and create a new file, and it's going to be having all the data. So let's go ahead and do data.json. So let's go ahead and actually spell this, and let's go ahead and rename, and this is going to be JSON. There we go. So now what we want to be doing is we don't want these hard-coded values. So let's go ahead and actually remove all those and all that. So for this, what we want to be doing is actually, let me just go to remove that. So inside this JSON file, what we want to be doing is we want to be having something like that, and there we go. So we're going to be having name, and we're just going to be having let's say to be the mic, and let's go ahead and put to be the next thing to be, actually let's give these comma, and the next thing is going to be an ID, which is also this actually going to be the same ID which we provided before. So I'm just going to do 1054. I guess that was the ID, I guess. And the next thing is going to be actually let's provide a comma over here, and the next thing is going to be our age, or maybe actually it's a number, right? A number, and it's going to be the default number 123456789. So let's go ahead and see something over here. So the reason why I deleted the extra tr is because you can just do everything with just a single tr with the or table row. So let's go ahead and create another one. Let's go ahead and put that, and let's change the properties over here. So it's going to be 1055 and 123564789. So I just messed with these three numbers over here, I guess. So yeah, that's pretty much about these both JSON data we need. So let's go ahead and actually give a comma so that we can have a second one right there. So that should be it. So if you want, you guys can give another comma for it's a good practice, but I mean if you have more, you can do that. So the next thing we want to do is we want to get this JSON data over here. So we're going to import that. So import data, and let's go ahead and do import data from data.jsn, or actually data, let's go ahead and do that, and that should be it. So here we are going to be mapping, but before that, what we want to do is we want to remove all that. We want to have over here, and first of all, to map you need data.map, and we are going to be mapping the item, and we're going to be having an arrow function, and there we go. So that should be it. So now let's go ahead and have some things inside this. So let's go ahead and have this inside over here, because that's how you should have it, and let's go ahead and do there. And that's basically the syntax, I guess. So now what we want to be doing is inside this we can directly provide TD, and we can slowly be moving over them. So what we can be doing is we can just be doing something like this, item the ID if you want, and you can just be doing that. And let's actually go copy this, paste this 3 times. This is gonna be our name, this is gonna be our ID, this is gonna be the number. So let's go ahead and see our output. So this should work. So there we go, that works too with the JSON. So name, ID, and number, mic, John, and stuff, all these IDs, the number. So we're basically using this mapping over here, which is very important. So yeah, so that's pretty much it about this tables, I guess. So that's it for today's video. See you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.